This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Reading by Kristen Hughes. Ballads of a Bohemian by Robert W. Service. Book 3, Late Summer, Part 4. The Café de la Paix, August 1st, 1914. Paris and I are out of tune. As I sit at this famous corner, the faint breeze is stale and weary. Stale and weary, too, the faces that swirl round me, while overhead the electric sign of Somebody's Chocolate appears and vanishes with irritating insistency. The very trees seem artificial, gleaming under the arc lights with a raw virility that rasps my nerves. Poor little trees, I mutter, growing in all this grime and glare. You're only dryads, the loitering ladies with the complexions of such brilliant certainty. You're only pipes of Pan orchestral echoes from the clamorous cafes. Exiles of the forest, what know you of full-blossomed winds, of red-embered sunsets, of the gentle admonition of spring rain? Life that would fain be a melody seems here almost a malady. I crave for the balm of nature, the anodyne of solitude, the breath of Mother Earth. Tell me, O wistful trees, what shall I do? Then that stale and weary wind rustles the leaves of the nearest sycamore, and I'm sure it whispers, Brittany. So tomorrow I am off to the land of little fields. Finistère. Hurrah! I'm off to Finistère, to Finistère, to Finistère. My satchel's swinging on my back, my staff is in my hand. I've 20 louis in my purse, I know the sun and sea are there. And so I'm starting out today to tramp the golden land. I'll go alone and glorying, with on my lips a song of joy. I'll leave behind the city with its canker and its care. I'll swing along so sturdily, oh, won't I be the happy boy, a-singing on the rocky roads, the roads of Finistère. Oh, have you been to Finistère? And do you know a wind-grey town that echoes to the clatter of 1,000 wooden shoes? And have you seen the fisher girls go gallivanting up and down, and watched the tawny boats go out, and heard the roaring crews? Oh, would you sit with pipe and bowl and dream upon some sunny quay? Or would you walk the windy heath and drink the cooler air? Oh, would you seek a cradled cove and tussle with the topaz sea? Pack up your kit tomorrow, lad, and hasten to Finistère. Oh, I will go to Finistère, there's nothing that can hold me back. I'll laugh with Yves and Léon, and I'll chaff with Rose and Jean. I'll seek the little quaint buvette that's kept by Mother Merdrinac, who wears a cap of many frills and swears just like a man. I'll yarn with hearty, hairy chaps who dance and leap and crack their heels, who swallow cupfuls of cognac and never turn a hair. I'll watch the nut-brown boats come in with mullet, plaice, and conger eels. The jeweled harvest of the sea they reap in Finistère. Yes, I'll come back from Finistère with memories of shining days, of scaly nets and salty men in overalls of brown, of ancient women knitting as they watch the tethered cattle graze by little nesting beaches where the gorse goes blazing down, of headlands silvering the sea, of Calvaries against the sky, of corn, of angry sunsets, and of Karnak grim and bare. Oh, won't I have the leaping veins and tawny cheek and sparkling eye when I come back to Montparnasse and dream of Finistère. 2 days later. Behold me, with staff and scrip, footing it merrily in the land of pardons. I have no goal. When I am weary, I stop at some auberge. When I am rested, I go on again. Neither do I put any constraint on my spirit, no subduing of the mind to the task of the moment. I dream to heart's content. My dreams stretch into the future. I see myself a singer of simple songs, a laureate of the underdog. I will write books, a score of them. I will voyage far and wide. I will... But there, dreams are dangerous. They waste the time one should spend in making them come true. Yet when we do make them come true, we find the vision sweeter than the reality. How much of our happiness do we owe to dreams? I have in mind one old chap who used to herd the sheep on my uncle's farm. Old David Smale. He dreamed away his hours in school. He sat with such an absent air. The master reckoned him a fool, and gave him up in dull despair. When other lads were making hay, you'd find him loafing by the stream. He'd take a book and slip away, and just pretend to fish and dream. His brothers passed him in the race. They climbed the hill and clutched the prize. He did not seem to heed. His face was tranquil as the evening skies. He lived apart, he spoke with few. Abstractedly through life he went. Oh, what he dreamed of no one knew, and yet he seemed to be content. I see him now, so old and grey, his eyes with inward vision dim, and though he faltered on the way, somehow I almost envied him. And last beside his bed I stood. "And is life done so soon?" he sighed. "It's been so rich, so full, so good, I've loved it all." And so he died. Another day. Framed in hedgerows of emerald, the wheat glows with a caloric fervor, as if gorged with summer heat. In the vivid green of pastures old women are herding cows. Calm and patient are their faces, as with gentle industry they bend over their knitting. One feels that they are necessary to the landscape. To gaze at me, the field workers suspend the magnificent lethargy of their labors. The men with the reaping hooks improve the occasion by another pull at the cider bottle under the stook. The women raise apathetic brown faces from the sheaf they are tying. Every one is a study in deliberation, though the crop is russet ripe and crying to be cut. Then on I go again amid high banks overgrown with fern and honeysuckle. Sometimes I come on an old mill that seems to have been constructed by Constable. So charmingly does nature imitate art. By the deserted house, half drowned in greenery, the velvety wheel, dripping in the crystal water, seems to protest against this prolongation of its toil. Then again I come on its brother, the mill of the wind, whirling its arms so cheerily as it turns its great white stones for its master, the flowery miller by the door. These things delight me. I am in a land where time has lagged, where simple people timorously hug the past. How far away now seems the welter and swelter of the city, the hectic sophistication of the streets. The sense of wonder is strong in me again, the joy of looking at familiar things as if one was seeing them for the first time. The Wanderer. I wish that I could understand the moving marvel of my hand. I watch my fingers turn and twist, the supple bending of my wrist, the dainty touch of fingertip, the steel intensity of grip. A tool of exquisite design. With pride I think, it's mine, it's mine. Then there's the wonder of my eyes, where hills and houses, seas and skies, in waves of light converge and pass, and print themselves as on a glass. Line, form, and color live in me. I am the beauty that I see. Ah, I could write a book of sighs about the wonder of my eyes. What of the wonder of my heart, that plays so faithfully its part? I hear it running sound and sweet. It does not seem to miss a beat.